I just wanted to come on really quickly. I probably won't be before you long because today is a busy one, but I just wanted to talk to my fellow people and specifically ladies. My channel is for women. I've rebranded, as a lot of you know. Some of you may not know yet that I've rebranded from a business that is men and women to just all women, everything for women, women coaching, massages, health and wellness, all the things. However, if there are men that would like to stick around and listen, of course, that's totally fine. I just wanted to come on really quickly and talk to a lot of you who are going through a lot of tough things. I'm one of them. A lot of people are going through redirections, as the title says. A lot of, being forged through the fire or being formed rather through the fire, very literally for a lot of us. A lot of people out there. There are people losing jobs. There are people that are, they're losing loved ones. There are people that are going through breakups or moving or, just different things. Life is happening to a lot of us. Not totally understand. And I just wanted to let you guys know that I can relate. I understand. I care. If there's a way that I can pray for anybody, even after the video is wrapped, if you can put a comment underneath, on whatever your prayer request is, or even if you don't have a certain definite prayer request, but you just want me to pray, I'll do that, whatever the case may be. I would love to stand with you and help you in any kind of way that I can. But without further ado, as far as the video is concerned, if you've ever, my name is Arlena Crouch. I am the owner of Heavenly Hands Massage and Body Work. And if you've ever had a time in your life where everything felt very uncertain, very shaky, like everything that could be shaken is being shaken, really confusing, and you're just not really sure, like what to do, you're not really sure what's going to happen, how God's going to come through for you, that kind of thing. I can totally relate. I very much so understand. And I just want to let you guys know that when things are, when it looks like there's a door slammed shut in your face at every turn, God is very much so up to something. You might have to cry. You might have to go and put your face in a pillow, and whatever emotion that you're feeling, give your feeling an assignment of a sound or an action. If you have to scream, run, something, go and do something. Whenever we're feeling stress as human beings, cortisol is a hormone that gets released, and that's the fight or flight hormone that wants you to move, to go and do something. It's that hormone that helps you to like jump, that adrenaline gets released, and that hormone can help you to jump over a car. You didn't even know that you had that superpower to do that. Whatever it is that you could be going through, you might have to, like I said, go put your face in a pillow and scream or cry. You might have to, you give what you're feeling an assignment. If you were to assign, whatever it is that you're going through, and you felt like you just wanted to take off running or whatever the case, not anything crazy, of course, anything that would hurt anybody. I'm not saying that, advocating for that. What I mean is a release. When things are kind of shaky, when they seem to be crazy, when it looks like there's a lot of doors slammed in your face, that's a time that God is definitely up to something. He is very much so getting your attention. He is, doing his very best to help you to gain clarity. And sometimes it comes through closed doors, because God knows that we sometimes otherwise would not move around. There are times that something was a blessing, it was a yes for you, and then God has to close that door because you're being reassigned, you're being redirected. Sometimes it's not that you necessarily did anything wrong. It could be that God is listening to your prayers, and that God, is going to do something for you. And with Him doing something for you, uh, that answered prayer is to reassign you. So this could be a neighborhood, this could be a city, this could be a job, it could be a relationship, it could be, anything. And so I just wanted to encourage you that if any of you have, if you've had to shed some tears, or if you need to give yourself permission to shed some tears, I've been there. If you need to give yourself permission to shed some tears, do that. Even if you're not sure like what to do, you're not sure how you really feel about what it is that you're going through, it's a good idea to talk with somebody. I'm a person who had to really learn that. I'm the youngest of five children, as far as the children who grew up all in the same household. And I was used to holding things in. I was used to not being, honest about how I really felt and that kind of thing. And so God just decided that I was a person who He wanted to use, that He wanted me to be out there in the forefront to help people. And I was really, really uncomfortable with that years past and in the past. And God's just been growing me and helping me through that, through the transition of actually, getting out there and, doing what I need to do, being transparent also so that I can help other people. Whatever it is that you're supposed to help people with, typically that's where your most painful areas are. So whatever it is that God has been allowing for you to go through, to walk through, it does not necessarily mean that you did something wrong. I mean, could that be the case? Sure, we're all human beings, we make mistakes, and God's grace is there for us because of this. But if for any of you who's going through something really tough, you're going through something that really hurts, like I said, whether it's a job, whether it's something in family, maybe God forbid somebody died, or somebody's going through something and you really want their life to be preserved, whatever the case may be, it's a good idea to go and find someone, whether they're over the internet. These days we're blessed to live in this day and age where we can utilize the internet for almost like not everything, but for a lot of different things. And so there might be someone who's the best fit for you as a counselor or as a deliverance minister, or perhaps a deliverance minister that does both, that does counseling and that does ministering as far as helping for darkness, quite literally, to be able to come out of you. It's the Holy Spirit doing the work. It's them just being the facilitator. But whoever it is that's the best fit for you to talk to, etc. Sometimes, everyone's friends or whoever you have around you may not always be, or not for every situation, may not be the best, person for you to work things out with. However, in this day and age, we can, look up people in our area, but we can go abroad, globally, wherever, and have people that are in our wheelhouse of our whole, healing team that help us through these situations. So I just wanted to encourage you that if you find yourself in a situation where you're feeling really confused, prayer is the best thing to do. I'm a praying girl. The name of my business is Heavenly Hands Massage and Body Work, so it's kind of in the title of my business name. That's the way that I align. I'm a faith based business, but you want to pray and just get alone. It may be hard to kind of get by yourself, but if you have to pray in your car, in the bathroom with the door closed, but pray, get alone with God and ask God, what is this? What is it that you're trying to tell me? What is it that you're trying to show me? What is it that you want me to know? What is it that you want me to do? There's a very good friend of mine who's a friend, and she's also a friend in ministry. And that's something that God has blessed me to hear from her. And that's just something that has been helping me. What do you want me to know? What do you want me to do? So no matter what the situation is, prayer, it's a good idea for that to be first and foremost. If you don't have a relationship with Christ and you want to start, we could definitely pray that prayer together. But for those who have a relationship with Christ, or you want to, praying is the very first thing. It's the best thing for you to do, because God can give you strategy. God is a God of strategy. There's a lot of tactics and whatnot as far as the military are concerned, that the military and the world, gleaned from the Bible. But anyhow, so praying and asking God, what do you want me to know about the situation? Like I said, whether it's a job loss, whether it's a situation with a family member, whether it's something else that God is moving things around in your life, and you're like, Lord, what's up with all these slammed doors? What's up with all these closed doors? What am I doing wrong? Or just, or what is it that you're trying to tell me? What is it that you're trying to show me? I very much so know and understand what that feels like. I very much so know and understand how that can be quite confusing when it seems like one door closes after another, and sometimes that points to some very definite prayer requests that you may need to go before God with. And so, along with prayer, something that I mentioned earlier that I would definitely also do is, when you're feeling overwhelmed, if you're feeling very angry, very sad, or if you've not maybe even named your feeling, you've not named your emotion and what exactly it is that you feel, it's a good idea to give whatever it is that you could be feeling an assignment. Maybe if you could give it a sound, and give it a sound, give it an action, that might look like a scream, to be honest, to get it out so that it's not stuck in you. We can have emotions get stuck in our tissues. That, as a massage therapist for years, there have been people who have been surprised by being on the table. Maybe they're going through a lot. They might even be keeping it in, or to some degree, they may be keeping it in, and they get on the table and they're very surprised that they just start crying out of nowhere. Our tissues very much so store memory. The memory of, you fell when you were on your bike at 4 years old and somebody told you to suck it up and be a big boy or a big girl, that kind of thing. But giving your praying is the first thing. That's one of the very best things you can do when you're going through a tough time, especially when there's things that are confusing to you. There's a lot of rejection. There's a lot of closed doors. There's a lot of shaking up. There's a lot of changes and things that are very hard for you to deal with. Praying, asking God, Lord, what is it that you want me to know? What is it that you're saying? What is it that you're trying to show me? Well, did I miss you somewhere? What do you want me to know? What do you want me to do? And the other thing that I suggest that I'm learning from people in the community of inner healing and deliverance is, if you were to assign what you're feeling or what you're going through, if you were to give it a task, give it a sound, what would that be? If you were to even put your face, in a pillow and give it a sound, would you cry? Would you scream? Whatever the case may be. That's something else. But something else that's pivotal as well is to write down what you're feeling. I've sometimes failed at or not been so consistent with writing and keeping a journal, but it's when you get enough days and enough times going of keeping a journal every day of what you feel, what you're going through, you might be surprised at certain patterns and things that you pick up. You might be surprised at what comes out. I have, had a conversation with someone. This happened even kind of recently, and something came out that I didn't even know was there. I've had that happen, really, I would say to me, but happen for me. So praying, keeping a journal, giving your emotions or whatever it is that you're feeling, whatever it is that you're going through, feeling mentally, emotionally, etc. Giving that an assignment, giving it a sound, whether it's a scream, whether it's an action. An action could be running, it could be you just simply walking. It may not be anything really big, like a scream or that kind of thing. However, whatever it is that you could be struggling with, I just want to um, give you, just the understanding that there are people that, like myself, may not even know you, have not even seen you a day in our lives. Hello, everybody in the comments. May not have even seen you a day or, in my life before, but just know and understand there are people that, even if they don't know you personally, they care about your pain. They care about, your issues. They very much so care about the fact that you might be feeling very afraid, like a child who is feeling terror and just or feeling almost just stupefied with fear, whatever it is that you could be feeling, very angry, etc. There are people who are walking around on this earth, and as sad as it is, are convinced that people don't care about them, and that nobody in life cares about them. And it's really sad, because nothing could be further from the truth, even if it's a situation that you've had a very hard time and a very hard life. I definitely can understand that. If no one else and if nothing else, God Himself cares. And there's nothing that you could do bad enough to make Him, elbow you and decide that He doesn't want you anymore. People can do that. People do that every day. People who, swore A, B, and C to you, but God will never do that to you. And so, in addition to praying, giving your thoughts, giving what you're feeling, and an assignment, giving what you're feeling and going through in your body, giving it a sound, giving it an assignment, something that you do. Like I said, keeping a journal is something else that you can do that could be very helpful for you. And the other thing that could be helpful for you as well, I did speak about this as well, is literally finding someone to speak with. There might be people in your family, your friends, who you could actually trust, and your information won't go anywhere. But there might be people who it's you might have people around you that you don't feel like it's a safe place, or maybe there are certain things that you can tell them, and other things they're not the safest or the maybe most equipped. It may not be that they're not safe. It might be people that are around you that they're not the most equipped to um, for you to process with. And in that case, there are, depending on if you are a faith-based person like myself, there's different websites for, BetterHelp, I believe, is one of them. If you want to find an actual counselor, I myself do offer coaching for women who are needing to birth, whatever it is that they're meant to do, their assignment. It could be a book, it could be a ministry, etc. And I do have a bevy of coaches that I'm in network with, and other health professionals. I am very big on my clients, very big on clients, whether they're coaching clients or massage clients, in building a health team. And that can look like church. It can look like different ministries that have different functions for you. It can look like, of course, doctors, different types of doctors, even different doctors that do the very same thing for a living, such as a chiropractor. etc. Those things can actually be very, very healing, very helpful. They can help with sleep. It can help with a lot of different things. And so, what I have learned is when you open yourself up to different possibilities of help and health and wellness, you actually honor the way that God made us. God made us very, very multifaceted, and we're so multifaceted that when you open yourself up to having different facets of health and wellness options and team members, people, practitioners like myself and other people to guide you, you naturally just do better, and you naturally do better, especially when you find that these people are fit, that each person is a fit for you. You do better because that's the way that we're made. We're so multifaceted. We have many, many systems that scientists are still finding and figuring out. And all of the systems in our body literally get healed together. Get injured together. So when there's a traumatic situation that's happened, there's a big shift that's happened, like a move, a death, a divorce, a breakup, a you switched moved cities or schools or whatever the case could be. When there's a big shakeup in your life, you best believe that all of your entire body, your entire being has responded. Spirit, man, your soul, your body, your physical body has all responded. And just speaking of strictly the spirit man, we have so many different systems in our body, and every system gets entered together and every system gets healed together. And that's, on the trauma side, how trauma affects you physically, how trauma affects you mentally, how trauma affects you, your spirit, etc. And so, with all of that being said, when it comes to a big shift in your life, when it comes to something that you're dealing with and it's really big and you are really needing help, you don't have answers and you would like answers. The very best, in my experience, and for how I connect, the very best thing to do is to pray to God and ask, "Hey, what do you want me to know? What do you want me to do? Have I missed you somewhere? What is it that you're trying to show me? What is it that you're trying to tell me?" And I have found personally in my relationship with Christ that, of course, it's always helpful to go and find Bible studies. I love the YouVersion Bible app. I use that one to do different types of studies on different things. It could be trauma. It could be, dealing with new, and there are a lot of people who are not very, used to or would consider themselves not being good with dealing with change. But I love the YouVersion Bible app. It's almost like the word like YouTube, but YouVersion. I love that Bible app. I do a lot of Bible studies on that particular one. It's very helpful. And I also use that same Bible app to read the Bible in different versions. One version, the KJV, is usually what I study with. I will look up what words mean in the concordance and all this other jazz. We can talk about that deeper at another time. But I will also read the Bible in different versions to gain understanding. We've all had, a person to come along and say something differently or perhaps in a different way than someone else has already said to us. And it's just blessed our socks off, just blessed us because of the way that they put things. And that's always good. So when you are reading the Bible for yourself to gain understanding, to deal with life situations, it's a good idea to study from a version like the KJV because it's thought to not have anything missing. And it's a good idea to also for your understanding. The Bible says to, in all you're getting to gain understanding, we want to have wisdom for all situations, for all things. It's a good idea to read the Bible also in different versions. And reading it in different versions is going to help you with, just understand it with your perspective. Reading it from a different perspective is going to help you. Typically, you have a conversation with someone or other people, and there's different perspectives. And if all can be kept, respectful and, all that good jazz, you gain a wide array of, not just perspective, but you have, a better view, a better worldview, possibly, or just better language on something. So, but getting back to the main thing, there's something going on in your life. That's what we're talking about today. When you're going through the fire, things are very tough. Things are very confusing. Things are very hurtful. And you're like, Lord, oh my God, what is this? There's all these doors closing. Maybe you lost your job. You don't know what you're going to do. There's a lot of different things like that going around. The best thing to do is to pause and pray, get quiet the best way that you can. You might have a very busy, very full, maybe even very loud, you might describe as a very loud life. If you could, go to the bathroom and lock yourself in, if you could go, or maybe in the shower, you can sit, stand with God and pray, maybe in your car or whatever it takes for you to get alone and to have your mind be able to be quiet before God and ask God, what is it that you're showing me? What is it that you're trying to tell me, etc. And journaling. I'm recapping for those who are just joining. And for the other thing that I would suggest, besides getting alone, getting quiet, praying, asking God, what are you trying to tell me? What are you trying to show me? What, did I miss you somewhere, etc. The other thing that I do suggest for other people is, giving whatever it is that you're feeling, whether anger, sadness, whatever, giving it an assignment, and giving it a sound, whether it's to scream, to cry, to laugh, whatever the case may be. You want to let things come out of you because you don't want to have emotions or anything stuck in your tissues. That is a very real thing. And as a massage therapist, I have seen the physical effects of people holding in emotions. I've been that person, but I've also been the practitioner coaching somebody through the fact that they have held different things in and now their body is literally like this. That is a very real thing. But also getting, like I said, a counselor, getting some kind of wise counsel. Some of us may have wise counsel naturally around us because God's blessed us that way. And even with that being the case, there might be times that you want to process things that you're going through with a person who is not so close to you, doesn't know you, or perhaps you really trust that they have the complete bandwidth, and are a good fit for you, by the way, to be able to help you to process and do what you need to do in order to work through what you need to work through so that you can move forward. I have found that a coach like myself helps you to move forward. And what's really good about a counselor is that they're going to take you back. And depending on the coach and the counselor, like I said, everyone can be interviewed basically to see whether or not they're a good fit for you. Um, I have been dabbling in inner healing myself. I've been getting inner healing myself, and also I've been um, practicing with clients who are open to it. And there have been some people who have been through things, of course, I would never ever share unless they gave me expressive permission. And then, of course, I would omit their names, even if they did, who have been through things, people much older than myself, who have been through things and carry things for a long time. And we have an inner healing session in the massage room where we're going through the memory, going through what it is that they went through, and we're crying together. And there's times that, when even if I'm not crying with them, I usually do pretty well to hold it together. But they go right back to, whatever the situation was. They might have had a situation where they um, they had something happen when they were 4, and that 4-year old, very much so rises to the surface basically. And we get breakthrough, through prayer. And of course, these are people who are open to that. We discuss that. I get express permission from them. But finding a counselor, finding a coach who's a good fit for you is always a good idea. And that is going to help you in your day to day, but also help you just, it can, the right counselor and coach combo, one or and some counselors are coaches as well, that can really do a world of good for every area of your life, every part of your life and your body, and even, yes, literally your spirit and your soul. So recapping for people who are just joining us, um, if you're going through something and it's very tough, praying, asking God what He wants you to know, what He wants you to do, journaling, having a person that you can speak to, um, and doing other good, healthy things for yourself. One thing that I mentioned is giving your emotion, your sound, an assignment, giving it a task, like, screaming, whatever the case may be. But the other thing that's really good, and I didn't mention this once, was something like walking, exercising. You'd be surprised, for those that may not already be an avid exerciser. Exercising, it does not have to be in the gym. I love going to the gym. I've not been to the gym in some time, but going to the gym or working out at home or at, the park somewhere, it just depends on what you're into or what you have time for. There might be seasons in your life you have to change some things around. I've certainly been in one of those seasons here recently where you're changing things around so that you can fit and do things that you're meant to do. Nothing wrong with that. But exercising can literally help to get things out and wake things, up and get things out of your system. And that's um, such a powerful thing. So not only do you have the benefit of physically, having more appreciative, having more appreciation for how you're looking, or just keeping the appreciation for what you already like about your body, but the mental health and the just being able to burn stress off, being able to just move forward with your day, or or maybe if you have that as a nightcap and it doesn't keep you up, doesn't wake you up, and it actually helps you to get good sleep. A lot of people use it as a tactic. That is so powerful on so many different levels. So many benefits to exercise, so many benefits to just to doing different things like that. And exercise could be as simple as walking, but these things really are helpful. They can be life changing, life enhancing, for and the betterment of it can be mental, emotional, all manner of different things. And so I just wanted to give you guys um, a just a few notes here. I went longer than I intended to, but I just wanted to serve you with some options on what you can do if you are yourself, or if you happen to know someone who's in a tough season. They're in a season where they are asking God why, they are crying, they're trying to make sense of things, or they're just sitting. They might not even be very vocal about it, but you know that they're going through a lot, and that they are needing to process. For any woman who would need, I do offer coaching for women. If there's anyone that could use someone to help them through, to help them to move forward in what it is that you're going through, and maybe you are a woman who you're going through a lot, and you know that there's more that God has for you. You know that there's things that God has for you to do. Maybe God has for you to birth a book. He's been talking to you for a while about birthing a book. Maybe He's been talking to you about switching jobs, or going further and going higher up, and utilizing the anointing, the abilities that He's blessed you with. Maybe God has been telling you that He wants to utilize you differently. He wants you to go in a completely different direction. And maybe you've been a little bit afraid, or a lot. Maybe you have been really nervous. There are times that these redirects of losing a job, or a situation dynamic changing, that there are times that God is actually just getting your attention. He's not trying to ruin your life. He's not trying to harm you or hurt you. He's trying to just give you, help you to pay attention. And there are times that He will physically, like He's helping you to physically go in front of the people, or go into the lane that He has designed for you and desired for you to be in. And sometimes a pink slip, or it could be a pink slip of a situation like a relationship, or it could be an actual pink slip from a job, or whatever the case may be. Sometimes that's the best thing. It might sound crazy. It might sound crazy, but sometimes that is the best thing for us, because it's God actually moving you from one place to another, helping to shift you from one season to another. And even though that doesn't feel good, of course, oftentimes there's always good that comes from it when we trust God, when we get quiet, when we pray, and when we ask God, what are you trying to show me and tell me? And we stick around. Here's the other part of that I didn't say earlier. When we stick around long enough, and we stay quiet, and we stay quiet in our spirit and in our soul long enough to listen for God to answer back. It's only a conversation when I speak and then you speak back to me. So for any of you, that if you are that person, or you know someone who's going through a whole lot in their life, and you know that they happen to be a woman, I do health coaching for women, they happen to be a woman who could use a push to birth whatever it is that God has put you on, that has put you on assignment for. And that could be for you to help people with their health, like me. It could be for you to help people with their business. It could be for you to help people with a ministry, whatever the case may be. That is the kind of woman that I'm looking for, someone who has a relationship with Christ as well. I have a faith based business, and so I want to serve people to the best of my ability. And the best of my ability is going to look like, of course, me utilizing my background as a faith based coach, because I have a relationship with Christ. If there's anyone that, if you are that woman, or if you know someone who is fits that category, I would love to serve you. I would love the opportunity to speak with you. I'm going to put a link in the comments or in the description for you to book a clarity call to see, are we a good fit? And if not, then I have a bevy of coaches that I network with, and counselors. I would love to serve you by referring you to someone. If I'm not the best fit, that's totally fine. I do the same way in my massage business. I'm not everyone's therapist, massage therapist, but I might know someone who's the best therapist for you. And so that's one of the ways I serve people. So I pray that you guys got something out of the message today. And if you did, I would love it if you would put your comments down below. Let me know if there's something that you learned, if there's something that you want to hear more about, if any of these tips helped you. What have you done? I would love to know from you guys, from all of you watching. What do you do when you come through, or come to a situation and it's a very tough situation. It's a situation where you feel very confused. You feel, maybe even hurt. You feel very, very shaken. Very, very shaken. What is it that you do to come through that? What has personally helped you? I want to read your comments, and I want to learn more about you and learn more about what it is that you do to cope with stress and those types of things. And again, if anyone has any tips for this, hey, let's be a community and help other people, who might want to read in the comments. I very much so want this to be a community where we talk to each other. I don't want to talk at you. I want to talk to you. And I want you to talk back to me and to other people in the comments. And of course, serious, comments, only. I really want for us to be able to help each other and to serve each other. That is what I'm here for. And so, thank you all for watching. I love you for watching. I hope you have a great day the rest of your day. Again, I'm Arlena Crouch of Heavenly Hands Massage and Bodywork. I would love for you to subscribe and share this out with someone who you even think could possibly use it, with your family, group thread, that friend or that person that you know that you love, that you know is having a hard time. I would love for you to honor God above me, to honor God by sharing this with them. Send them the link to this video. And see how I might be able to serve them, or even if just the video helps them to hang on long enough for them to pray that prayer and get direction from God. That would, just pay my soul. That would pay my soul, because that's what I'm here for. So thank you guys for watching. I love you for watching. Have a great day, the rest of your day. And again, if you have prayer requests, please put them down in the comments. Let me know how I can pray for you and how I can serve you. Have a great one. Bye bye.